Hey, this is Brant with Vintage Statements, and today my supervisor and I are going to try to figure out some cool project for this. Maybe we'll turn it into a wine cabinet. So stay tuned. Ready? Okay. Alright, so first steps are going to be to remove this door. We're actually not going to use it since I don't have the matching one over here. Is that right? So we're going to remove all the hardware, basically break this thing down. I'm actually going to have to take out all the drawers here and the top, and we'll go from there. We're going to start building some shelving and basically turn this into a wine cabinet over here so we can stock wine and have drawers for things and an area for glasses. Does that correct? That's the correct plan. That is correct. We are on path. So I'll do all the work. She'll probably take a nap here, and well, we'll get this thing broke down so we can start on the next step. Ready? Check these out. I got these on OfferUp 2 days ago for like $5. So I'm gonna put them to use here today. But as you can see, they're a little bit too deep, so we're gonna have to cut the backs of them off. So what I'll do is I'll measure this all out, and then I'm just gonna chop them off backside, and including the drawer in here, and then I'll secure the back to it. I don't really care about the case back, but just the drawer itself. So I'll cut that off, and I'll pull these all the way out, and I'll chop this off, keeping this piece of wood, and I'll just make new nail marks right here, and I'll re-nail it in. It's gonna be pretty cool. So doesn't look too bad of a project. We don't have to worry about dovetail or anything like that, but we'll go from there. It's kind of cool. So let's start it. Cutting these all off. It's gonna take a while. Alright, our next project is to shorten these down a little bit. So we're taking off just a few inches here, just under 5 inches of it. So I've cut the back side of our drawer, then I took all the pieces off of it, and I'm gonna screw that back in here. So I'll screw that back in. That'll give us a nice tight fit for the back of the door. And then I'm going to take the fronts of these, which are more banged up, and I'm going to cut it twice, run it one side to the other side, and get it going. And I'm double checking, make sure I don't run into any of these screws or these nails before I do it. But we'll chop it off, put the drawer back in, put the drawer together, and then we can stick it in here and get a fit for it. So let's get cutting this box. We've already cut this, and we'll go from there. Same way of cutting it. One direction, flip it over. So here we go. All right, here's where we're at now. We've got them cut down. Still got this old vintage look, feel to them, which we're gonna keep pretty much. We are gonna sand these down a little bit because there is writing on it, some random stuff. Clean up these hardware, clean these up, get them looking a little bit better. This piece is just sitting here, but you can see that this is gonna be where our drawers are. We will put a top on it here, and then this box is going to be where we put our wine X's, I guess, here, and we'll probably come up to somewhere close to this. So this top part will be where you can put glasses and such. So next thing I think we're gonna do is just finish this piece off here, cut this piece in, and get that all set up and what we like about it, and then we'll go from there. So let's cut this piece. Alright, so you can see we had our old beam here, which is the center point. So we're going to leave that there just to keep the structure really nice. But we did have a little piece that we cut off of here, which is going to work out perfect for the distance here. So I've cut it to length, going to glue both ends. We're going to put it up in here, let the glue dry, and then we'll have a place to nail down into or screw into. Once we finalize this piece, we can push this over, get it all lined up. It's wide enough where it doesn't have to be exactly down the middle. Just gonna go as close as possible, put it in, let it dry overnight, and then we can start working our way this way. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make 2 boxes for our wine holders. And we're going to try to match it up pretty close to 3 drawers and 3 drawers here. So we marked it right about here. We're going to start cutting our plywood to fit in here at our angles. So it'll be something on the lines of the bottom side of these will be a box, top, and another box created. We've already cut the plywood to the depth of inside the frame here. So it'll sit back just on the edge here. Give it a kind of a pushback look, which will be pretty cool looking, I think. So we've got the width done. Now we're going to start cutting the height here, the angles of it. So let's start it up. I'm going to flip the camera around, and we're going to start cutting some wood. All right, so what we got here is our 2 X's that have been cut the same width and everything like that. Then we went in, found out halfway on both sides, halfway, created our line, and we're going to match these up. And we're going to use our skill saw here, cut this box out, and then we'll put them in here and we'll create a top. Now I've already done this to one set, and it's already in here, so let's take a look at that and how it's going to be built from there. Alright, keeping with the theme, the farm style theme of this, we're going to keep the square edges. We put a top on it. We're going to do the same thing, another height and a topper, and then we'll have this piece completed. So let's get started. Alright, we put it together, made sure it all worked. Now we've taken it all apart. We're going to start sanding it all out. We're going to sand basically everything and paint everything except our wine cabinets and the drawer fronts. So everything's just going to get a scuff so the paint sticks to it really nicely, and then we can go from there. There's a lot here to do, so let's get started. vacuumed it off, wiped it down. Now we can start staining. We're gonna stain the wine racks and the drawers. Everything else is gonna get painted black. So we're gonna do the stain first so it can dry nice. Give it a little more time than the paint. The paint's gonna dry pretty quick. So gloves. We have a wipe on and a wipe off rag, and we just go to town with it. Should be fun, right? Supervisor's sleeping, so we can actually get some work done today. We are to the point where we can start painting this piece. I've got my Behr prime and paint here. I call it an aged black, so it's a black that looks like it's been vintaged and it's just a little worn in, so it's not a deep black that I usually use. And well, hello stranger, you doing your final inspection? While she does her final inspection, I'm going to do the inside and I'm going to work my way around the outside. We're going to do 2 coats, and then I'm going to scuff it up a little bit, give it a vintage look. So So we've got it all painted. That was a lot of painting and a lot of staining, but we got to a point where we're gonna scuff sand it, just to get the edges, make it look a little worn in, sort of kind of match the drawers and just have that cool feel to it. Now, if you were doing a piece like this and you didn't want it all scuffed up, you wanted that solid look, just skip this step, go right to waxing and starting the build. But at Vintage Statements, we're gonna add a little scuff to it. Mini wax, rag, gonna do all the pieces, get it all set up for it, and we can start building this thing. After 2 days of work, we've got this piece completed. It's gonna be hard to keep my wife from wanting to keep it in the house, but like all of our projects, we give out and we sell. So this project will be up for sale soon. It's a dark black that we scuffed up, vintaged. It's a dark walnut stain. Even the drawers have a little bit of a dark walnut to it. So if you like this project and many of our others, subscribe to our channel, like us on Facebook, and we'll keep doing some cool projects, trying stuff that maybe we didn't even know we could try. And if you like this project, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about it. All right, supervisor, let's get this inside.